This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party live on this Wednesday hump day. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. And thank you, as always, for supporting this show like you do. Very grateful to everyone for even coming along and hanging out here today. Really thankful for all the subscribers, inching our way toward 2,500 subscribers ever so slowly, and everyone counts. So thank you very much for that. Something exciting yesterday. My daughter is the drum major for her high school, and she was able to try on her uniform for the first time. Now, all summer, she has been practicing in the front yard, trying to spin this long ceremonial stick called a mace. Right now, Murphy's laughing at me because she knows all these things. You know, that why would I call it a long ceremonial stick? This is my first experiment or experience with a mace. I never even heard the word. I didn't know what it was called before. So she's been spinning it around, and now she's tried on the outfit. It's way too big for her, but here's how she looked yesterday at Petaluma High School. She's got the Scottish kilt, she's got the big hat, and she got tripped up by the hat. The hat's a little too big, so she whacked herself in the hat with the mace, spinning it around a few times. But overall, she's really excited to have the outfit. She gets to be the drum major for 3 years. So this is her outfit for the next 3 years. She'll be marching around wearing this suit. So wanted to share that with you guys. Also, if you are Costco members, I have some news for you about membership and what new things Costco is doing to crack down on that. Before we start on it, please click the like button if you can. I will tell you the show is crowdfunded. The PayPal link has been a little slow, so that is at the bottom of the show description and in the About tab here on the description of the After Party Live on YouTube as well. Okay, Costco. Costco is cracking down on membership big time. I thought you had to show your card at the door, that it was hard to get in if you weren't a member. But there are some things that you can purchase at Costco without a membership. Prescriptions, I believe, among them. Well, now they're starting to really feel it as far as cracking down on the membership scanners at entrances. They've got these scanners now that are at small stands at both ends of the entry doors at the warehouse. And it requires customers entering Costco not to just flash your card, but to actually scan the card and your customer ID images visually confirmed by the employee as well. So there's a worker looking for you, and you also have to scan in. That maybe will tell them if your card is expired or fake or belongs to someone else or what have you. They mean business at Costco. They don't let the riffraff in, apparently. So before you walk in to buy anything, you got to scan, and they have to give you the visual look. The scanners work with both Costco membership cards and digital ones as well. So apparently it's kind of shaking things up for customers that have been going to Costco for a really long time, because it's another choke point. You see it when you leave Costco, a line kind of forms before they check you out at the door. Well, now, because you have to scan your card, you can't just walk by and hold it up, right? It's created another line to get into the place. So they're trying to put up signs at some Costcos to warn people of this new policy, but it's still leading to lots of lines, a little bit of wait time, employees having to explain to people, nope, you got to scan in now. Yeah. So that's the way. That's the new way it goes at Costco. They think that having people scan in will help them do better business. They're starting to lose a little bit of money. And so they have to think of new ways to make sure that people are paying those membership fees, that they're holding on to all the profits that they can. The whole point of having to scan in is to make sure that members aren't misusing those membership cards, especially people that share membership cards with non-members. And they said a few months ago that was a problem. That since the pandemic, more and more people were sharing these membership cards with each other. And Costco's, one of their primary revenue ways that they earn money is by memberships. $4.6 billion in membership fees paid every year. So for them, these scanners make sense. They're also raising their membership fee on September 1st as well. Now that's what's going on over at Costco. Remember we talked recently about the really cool picture at the Olympics with the surfer that jumped up and the picture was taken at just the right time? Now we have another picture from the Olympics going viral. You can see the surfer, the Olympic surfer, in front and the whale breaching in the back. Another picture from the Olympic surfing competition in French Polynesia goes viral. It's, again, the second picture to make headlines after the one of Gabrielle Medina went viral last week. Perfect timing from this whale. A photo bomb as Tatiana Weston Webb from Brazil and Brisa Hennessy of Costa Rica took part in the surfing semifinal. You can see one over toward the right, and then there's another surfer. You can kind of see her foot. They say it's not unusual for seals and whales to be seen during surfing events. But this whale just really had perfect timing. Really perfect timing. Fantastic. So another great picture from the Olympics. Not sure if you're watching, but it's been a lot of fun. I have a video to show you about a thief. And this isn't just any thief. This is a special thief. This thief is a seagull. Recently we saw a video of a seagull walking into a convenience store when the door was left open and stealing chips. Well, that seagull's not the only one, because this seagull wanted somebody's wallet.
There goes some money coming out of it. Yep.
Look at the money flying around on the roof. The seagull stole this guy's wallet. Went in the parking lot. Crazy. Yeah, Nantucket seagull. Wanted. Is that wild or what? You can see the money flying around all over the place. And this is what happens when a seagull steals your wallet from the parking lot when you're at the store. Happened in Massachusetts, right in the grocery store parking lot. Noah Carberg of Nantucket said he made the trip to the Stop and Shop after a day of fishing in Nantucket. He said, I was in a fishing shirt and board shorts, so I had no pockets. He said he put his phone and wallet in the tray on top of his shopping cart where they remained while he was loading his groceries into the truck. He said, I took the last couple of bags around to the back seat to come back around to the shopping cart, and there's a seagull sitting on the cart. And right in front of me, he grabs my wallet and he just flies off. He said he captured video as the seagull made its way to the roof of a nearby car wash and started going through the contents of the wallet. He said it was like a gull with an agenda. Tossed the cash, went straight for my Amex. He said on Facebook, anyone who finds the wallet can keep any cash that remains inside. He's offering an additional $100 in cash reward for the return of his driver's license and his credit cards. He said he's had a lot of people reach out to him as well, saying they're sorry that happened to him, but that it was really funny. He said it's all been in good fun. The island has a pace in the summer. It can be frantic. People can get burned out. And he said, I think this was a little bit of good fun that everyone had. You believe that? Always keep a hold of your wallet and your keys. You never know who is lurking nearby. Something really cool happened in the Bay Area. Really cool. This little guy has been seen for the first time in California. It is the slate-throated redstart. And this bird has never been seen in California until recently. It showed up in the willow trees at Pine Lake Park in San Francisco. Dominic Mosers works as an animal care specialist at the Randall Museum in San Francisco. According to SF Gate, he went out during the afternoon for a little bit of bird watching at Pine Lake Park near his home in San Francisco. And he wandered through the willow trees there and heard this sound. He said, and I don't know how he knew, but he said it was the unmistakable sharp tick of a warbler's call. So he does what most bird watchers do, and he mimics this call. And all of a sudden, this bird pops into view, and he said he was awestruck. He told SF Gate it was like a little miracle. He dropped to his knees, looking through his binoculars, taking photos with his phone. He said the bird's feathers were a little bit raggedy, so maybe it was molting. He said it did not at all take away from how striking it looked. A needle-thin bill, black feathers, and a bright ruby red belly. And then, after moments, it just disappeared. It was there, and then it wasn't. So he took a couple of pictures, and he put it on a group chat that he is in with some birders, and they all confirmed, yep, there it is. It is indeed the slate-throated redstart, which, by the way, has been observed from Mexico to Central America, down to Bolivia. There have been sporadic sightings of this bird in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Never once before in California. Cough break. Pardon me. So this is a pretty big deal. He said the fact that it showed up in San Francisco is really cool. He said you could travel halfway down the continent to find this bird, or you can go to your neighborhood park in San Francisco and maybe it'll come to you. So by the next morning, all the birders were out there. Some people drove overnight. Some flew across the country to this very spot where he had stood, hoping to just catch a glimpse of this rare bird. About 150 people showed up the next day. Apparently, there are crowds still showing up to the park to try to find this bird. It was circling around the lake to forage, sometimes flashing its white tail feathers to surprise an insect and eat it up. So, people were really jazzed. He said it was like a holiday out there. Animal experts aren't quite sure how this little bird got here. They're not migratory birds. Apparently, they're not supposed to show up in crazy, weird places. This is a subspecies from Mexico, which takes part in elevation migration. So they go between lower and higher altitudes rather than flying north and south. But there are no published scientific studies about these patterns. So they think it's pretty shocking to have this little one travel so far out of its normal area. Welcome to San Francisco, friend. Look at you. You're pretty. Apparently it hurts to think. I didn't realize this. I've never, and maybe this is my bad, I've never thought so hard that my brain has actually felt pain. I mean, I've had a headache, but I don't think it was because of thinking. But a new study published by the American Psychological Association shows mental exertion leads to irritation, frustration, or other negative feelings in many situations. Now, in this case, I would say maybe you have something on your mind and you're rolling it around, you can't get it off your mind, and maybe it's making you a little more irritable. But the study shows that mental exertion, or thinking, leads to irritation, frustration, or other negative feelings, supporting the concept that it hurts to think. These researchers from Radboud University in the Netherlands, they say this may indicate that while people tend to enjoy thinking hard, maybe the opposite is actually true. It's useful, they say, to realize that when it's really necessary to ask people to exert substantial mental effort, that it's best to support or reward them in some way. That there's been this long-standing controversy in psychology about mental effort. A lot of psychologists assume people avoid mental effort whenever they can. Really? They say mental shortcuts, like going with a gut feeling when making a decision about something, like maybe which restaurant to go to, rather than to weigh all relevant pieces of information, which is more mental work, may be where people opt to go. Earlier studies show that people who can choose between two activities are more likely to opt for the one that requires less effort. They know generally that people prefer the path of least resistance. So it may be true then that we dislike a lot of mental effort as well. But psychologists assume that people can easily learn associations between mental effort and rewards. There's an example apparently of students receiving compliments in schools and universities after they've exerted mental effort. So that there are opportunities to learn that mental effort is linked to reward. And if that's true, then people might learn to enjoy that mental effort a little bit more. They did a meta-analysis of 170 studies published between 2019 and 2020 that included 4,670 participants to examine how people generally experience mental effort. They looked at whether mental effort is associated with unpleasant feelings and whether that depends on the task or the population involved. So they collected data from 358 cognitive tasks: learning a new technology, finding your way around an unfamiliar environment, practicing golf swings, playing a virtual reality game. All of these things require mental effort. And then they analyzed. Participants reported the level of effort they exerted and the extent to which they had unpleasant feelings, like frustration, irritation, annoyance. And across all populations and tasks, the more significant the mental effort, the higher the unpleasantness that participants experienced. They say the most striking finding was that mental effort feels unpleasant in such a wide range of setting and contexts. And so they say, it hurts to think. That doesn't bode well for us, does it? I saw this story, I thought the number surprised me. This is really interesting. There's a new poll that shows 30% of Americans over the age of 50 are now caregivers. That's 1 in 4 Americans 50 or older are now caregivers. They're looking after at least one family member or friend who has a health problem or some type of disability. The poll done by the University of Michigan National Poll on Healthy Aging found 30% of all people in their 50s and early 60s provide care to at least one person. 23% of people over 65 were caregivers. And 1 in 10 caregivers in their 50s and 60s are juggling the care of 3 or more people. Well, I mean, technically, I'm a caregiver. I have 2 kids. Does that mean I'm a caregiver? I don't know. Here's what they say. And I would think caregiver means you're providing care for someone who's infirmed in some way. But nationwide, the data confirms that caregiving for family and friends who have health challenges falls unevenly on people in their 50s and early 60s. But it makes sense, right? Because when you're in your 50s and early 60s, much of the time, your parents are in their 80s or early 90s. And so who's going to take care of them? You are. Or your aunts or uncles, right? So this is the generation that takes care of the oldest generation. Most of the challenge falls on women. 32% of women aged 50 or older are caregivers, compared with 22% of men in the same group. The poll provided more information about who needs all of this care. 23% of caregivers are looking after someone with an intellectual or developmental disability. 66% are caring for a senior with a health problem or a disability. The most common health concern that required caregiving, physical disability or mobility issues. That affected 59% of those needing care. The next most common, memory or thinking issues, 42%, vision or hearing, 28%, and mental health issues at 22%. So the researchers said it shows us more about the specific health issues and disabilities that people are helping loved ones with, and about the need for more awareness of existing support programs for older adults and their caregivers as well. The people that participated in this study were asked, who should cover the cost of caregiving? 45% of people aged 50 and older felt the government should take the leads. 27% the person receiving care should pay. 18% said it should be family and friends who absorb that cost. And a lot of people don't know that help is available. 61% of caregivers said they didn't know about area agencies on aging or local or regional groups that offer support to caregivers, seniors, and the disabled. So they hope the data will help people that are making decisions on policy understand who is providing care and maybe try to get a little outreach into what is available as well. Interesting. Here's a cool story. Look what they found. Some coins. Sorry, drink break. They found some coins. Some really cool coins as well. Mercenary coins, as a matter of fact. That's what they're thinking. These ancient gold coins were uncovered in an area that 2,600 years ago was constantly at battle and at war. They're Persian derricks, and they covered a soldier's pay for about 1 month. Archaeologists and researchers uncovered a cache of about, 2,600-year-old coins? That's what they think. They think it was an unknown mercenary's salary, the gold found in a small pot in the ancient Greek city of Notion in western Turkey. The gold discovered by the Notion Archaeological Project, the Turkish Ministry of Culture and Tourism officially gave permission for the discovery of the coins to be made public this month. They found them in July of 2023. But now we're hearing more about them. I guess they wanted to make sure they uncovered everything in that area before they told people what was up. So according to the University of Michigan archaeologist Christopher Rattay, these coins show a figure of a kneeling archer. You can see it on the coin there. Issued by the Persian Empire. They were likely minted at Sardis, about 60 miles northeast of Notion. This hoard of coins hoped that it'll provide more data on the Persian derrick's timeline and history. Here's what Rattay said. The discovery of such valuable find in a controlled archaeological excavation is very rare. No one, he said, ever buries a hoard of coins, especially precious metal coins, without intending to retrieve it. So only the gravest misfortune can explain the preservation of such a treasure. These derricks were created from the late 6th century BCE up until Alexander the Great's conquest of the Persian Empire in 330 BCE. The design of the coins stayed the same. Researchers have attempted to arrange the coins in chronological order by analyzing very minor stylistic differences. But this newly discovered hoard of coins sticks out because it's independently dated by other artifacts that are associated with it. So this hoard provides a firm date that can serve as an anchor to help fix the chronology of the entire sequence of coins. Pretty cool. The best preserved remains in this ancient city of Notion date back to the Hellenistic period between the 3rd and 1st centuries. They excavated a large courtyard house at the center of the city, and they think it was even inhabited earlier. Fragments of pottery, likely from the 5th century, were found earlier in walls incorporated into the foundations of the house. A dig beneath one of the courtyard areas revealed the gold coins buried in a small pot. And here's a picture of what they were looking at. Look at that. You can see that was the pot up in the right top that the coins were buried in. And you could see right where they were found in between walls. That's fascinating. I want to find gold coins. Here's another cool thing. Look at that. Check it out. This is a pretty cool drone show that set quite the record as well. It's a Deadpool and Wolverine drone show that broke a world record not once, but twice. The Guinness World Record for the largest aerial display of fictional characters formed by drones, broken twice in this show. The drone show by Sky Elements, sponsored by Marvel, set the record at the San Diego Comic-Con by using 1,599 drones to form an image of Deadpool. That's the hero played by Ryan Reynolds in the movie. Then, moments later, they broke the same record with an image of Hugh Jackman's character Wolverine featuring 1,607 drones. They're cool. So interesting. Sorry, I missed it. The main goal, they say, with the drones was to showcase their abilities like never before. This according to the folks that work with Sky Elements. The drone show medium, they say, is ripe to have the greatest stories ever told through it. Anytime Sky Elements has a chance to showcase this medium on a global scale, they say, we intend to do it. What do you think? Should we take maybe a look-see at what that drone show looked like? I might have to mute it so I don't get demonetized. But here's a look at the drone show. You kind of see there what they were doing. Look at that. Pretty special. Deadpool and Wolverine drone show at Comic-Con, breaking all kinds of records. Yeah. Wow. Pretty impressive what they can do with drones. Love that. What a sight to see. I don't think I've ever seen a drone show in person. Maybe I'll put it on my bucket list. I don't know. All right, let's go to the lotto of the day. That's a nice looking lotto ticket. $2 million right on top there. I'll take that 2 mil. Unfortunately, I think this lotto story of the day, here I am, could actually ruin a friendship. This guy from Michigan, his whole point is to ask his buddies when they're going to buy a lottery ticket if they could buy him one too. He's a guy from Michigan, 54 years old. He said he often enlists the help of a friend to buy lottery tickets. Whenever my friend goes to buy lottery tickets, I always give him some money and say, hey, buy me a few too. So this time, the guy's friend buys him a $20 Jackson ticket from Orchard Marketplace in Farmington Hills. He picked out this Jackson ticket for me, and I scratched it as soon as I got it. And when I saw that I won $2 million, my jaw hit the floor, he said, and stayed there. I was in total awe. Honestly, he said, I still am. I can't begin to explain this feeling of winning this amount of money. He said he's still keeping his win quiet. He said he hasn't told anyone other than his friend that bought the ticket for him, but he plans to surprise his family soon by showing them his big check. What did I not hear in this story? I plan to give my friend some of the money. And if you're the friend that's sent to buy the lottery ticket and you bought one for yourself and one for your buddy, you're kind of feeling upset maybe that you weren't the winner. There should have been an arrangement ahead of time. All right, I'll buy you a ticket. But if it's a winning ticket, it splitsies 50-50, friend. Right? This could cause all kinds of trouble. I'm telling you, buying a friend a lottery ticket, unless you know you may be giving away $2 million. Here's a really cool story, especially for anyone suffering from osteoporosis or maybe issues with your joints. We've come up with this new biomaterial that could help replace lost cartilage that is one of the effects of arthritis. So this newly developed biomaterial could be able to treat crippling arthritis by prompting the growth of new cartilage. This new study shows this bioactive material kind of has the consistence of rubbery goo. But they say it's a biological stew designed to mimic the natural cartilage in our bodies. So they regenerated high-quality cartilage in the knee joints of sheep within 6 months. So they did test it on animals. They say if this is successful in humans, that this new material could be used to treat osteoarthritis, right? When the bones rub together after the cartilage separating them wears down. This biomaterial could make obsolete a total knee replacement surgery, now used to treat severe osteoarthritis. In that surgery, the bone ends are cut away and then replaced with titanium, the cartilage replaced with plastic. The researchers say cartilage is a critical component in our joints, and so when it becomes damaged or breaks down over time, it can have a great impact on people's overall health and mobility. The issue is, especially in older folks, that cartilage does not have the ability really to heal. But this new therapy can induce repair in a tissue that doesn't naturally regenerate. They think this treatment could help address a serious unmet clinical need. The new biomaterial combines an essential protein for cartilage growth and maintenance and a modified hyaluronic acid present in both cartilage and lubricating synovial fluid in joints. They say a lot of people are familiar with the hyaluronic acid because it can be found in a lot of skincare products, but it's also found in a lot of tissues throughout the human body, including the joints and the brain. And because it resembles natural polymers found in cartilage, that's why they chose it for this. So they tested this biomaterial by injecting it into a joint, and a joint in sheep that's very similar to the human knee. The sheep cartilage is similarly resistant to regeneration. And the sheep stifles and human knees, they say, are similar in weight-bearing, size, and mechanical loads. So the new cartilage, when they put it in, grew to fill defects in the existing stifle cartilage, and the new tissue was consistently high quality. Looking for more on this one? Of course, they need new studies, new information, right? More testing, human testing. But the findings were published Monday in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. I always look at these things and maybe it's not available right now. But someday, in the not too distant future, when we need a knee replacement, maybe a hip replacement, it'll be, in and out office procedure. They're just going to inject it right into the joint and it'll heal us. That's cool stuff right there. So yesterday, we went to French Polynesia together. And I was so taken with the beaches that I started clicking around on this website, and I realized they didn't only offer me the best beaches, they offered me the best islands. So I thought, in our last few minutes together, why not do an extended version of Travel Tuesday on this Wednesday? Because we all need a little break from the nasty, cruel world of politics. And let's take a look at the most beautiful islands in French Polynesia. And if there's time, I have a really cool surfing video to show you as well. Check it out. Oh, thank you very much. Indeed, Travel Tuesday continues with the most beautiful islands of French Polynesia. And away we go. This little trip will explore the most beautiful islands. Oh, look at this. The picture that you're looking at right now is near Bora Bora, Maupiti, a little smaller than Bora Bora, but one of the many islands in this area they say that you won't forget. Okay, the first island on this trip that we're taking is Raiatea. Here it is. Yes, please. Yes, please to Raiatea, is what I'm saying. Sailors, they say, will feel at home here, considered the yachting hub of French Polynesia. You can explore most of this island by boat, including the interior, accessible via a winding river. If you're interested in learning about Polynesian history, Raiatea is home to the region's best preserved archaeological sites, including a sacred complex that you can go visit as well. Next stop is called Motu Seran. This is the island of my dreams. They say play at being a castaway on this tiny outcrop, complete with sugary white sand, swaying palms, and very little else. You, they say, may be the only visitor on this uninhabited island. You can take a picnic ashore. You can spend the afternoon wading through the crystalline waters and lounging with a good book in the shade. Oh. We talked a little bit about this beach yesterday, but check out the island. It's the island of Huahine. They describe it as a step back in time. This cay is formed by two islands surrounded by a clear lagoon, and they say it's remained untouched by the modern world. The atmosphere, extremely relaxed. Everything runs on island time here. So you hop off your boat, you discover small villages, wild volcanic landscapes, a very rich history. Avia Bay on the west coast of Huahine, a very popular spot for people that are boating to moor. Yeah, beautiful. This looks like a movie. Look how pretty that is. This is the island of Taha'a. You may well smell Taha'a, they say, before you see it. It's a flower-shaped island where the majority of French Polynesia vanilla is grown. So you can find a place with your boat that you rented or bought to anchor nearby and explore this island's fruit-filled farms and quiet beaches. There's a single, only one, luxury resort should you fancy a spot of pampering or a swanky restaurant in the evening. And there you go. So the whole place smells like vanilla. That's pretty cool. We kind of touched on this one yesterday as well. It's the island of Rangiroa. White sand shores, one of the largest atolls in the world, a haven for divers. There's an abundance of sharks, manta rays, and wildlife. It's made up of about 240 very tiny islands, which encircle a lagoon. And there are a lot of boats that congregate close to the Kia Ora resort there. Attractions close to the area include a black pearl farm and a vineyard. Again, this is the island or group of islands known as Rangiroa. This is paradise. This is the island of Moorea. They say that this is really for adrenaline junkies, to moor up at Moorea for a taste of adventure. It's a lush, heart-shaped island. It's got several adventure outfitters offering everything from a jungle quad biking adventure to jet skiing. If you like hiking, there are dozens of trails that wind through the undergrowth. You can get a 360-degree view of the island by making your way to the top of Magic Mountain on foot or by vehicle. Best anchorages to moor, Cook Bay, and Openohu Bay. This place looks like it's from the dinosaurs. This is the island of Nukuhiva. They say you feel like you're on the set of Jurassic Park in Nukuhiva. They're not lying. This rugged island, the largest of the Marquesas, makes up for, as they say, a very impressive sight with gaping valleys and jutting shards of rock carpeted in foliage. There are dozens of beautiful bays, land activities like horseback riding, 4x4 excursions. If you like to do a little shopping, there are local stores and market stalls that sell handcrafted goods with earrings carved from bone. I think I could do without that. Wooden tikis. Nah, bad luck. Don't take the tiki off the island. Nope, don't ever do it. This one got me with the water. Check out this island. Here we are back at the island of Maupiti, known as Bora Bora's little sister. Might be smaller than Bora Bora, but its beauty is just as mighty, according to Culture Trip. This is an authentic slice of French Polynesia. The island is widely untouched by the outside world. You can take a hike to the top of the local mountain there, Tura Fa'atiu, a volcanic peak, or you could hire a bicycle and wheel through quaint villages and secluded trails. Finish it all up with a cold beer at Torona on the east side of the island. So those are what they say the most beautiful islands to explore in this area of French Polynesia. I'm down. I mean, I didn't need to be convinced anymore that these islands were going to be on my bucket list of places to go. And they're all really so different and so much to see. So pretty. Look at that. It doesn't even look like a real place. And neither does that. That's wild. All right, I'm going to the chat to see what you guys have to say. These shows, says Heather, keep me sane during work. I'm so glad. Because you make me laugh every day, Heather. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's see what else you have to say. Bad luck? You're cursed? Yeah. You don't take volcanic rock. That includes bits of sand. And you don't take the tiki. Did you not watch the Brady Bunch? You never take the tiki home. No. Just not worth the trouble. Because you're going to have to send it back. Bad things will happen. Don't do it. Vanilla ice cream? I bet they have vanilla ice cream on that island. Absolutely. You know. Walter says, how long before French Polynesia is completely trashed out? I hope that never. The majority of those islands reportedly are untouched. You go there, you're the only one there. I don't know. If you're anything like me, you want to leave it like you found it. I hope most people are like that. I hope you're feeling better, Walter. I heard you're having some health stuff going on, so I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, it's a lagoon. Really cool looking one, right? B.A. Ware says, I'd put the Azores on my list before French Polynesia. Well, maybe next Travel Tuesday we'll go to the Azores so I can see what you're talking about. Heather's down for an after-party meetup in the islands, and I say, hell to the yes, my friend. Let's go. Absolutely. Teacher Lori writing, thanks for the show. Thanks for sharing your family with us. Julia is awesome. Jacob too. Oh, she thinks I'm a great parent. That's really nice. And thank you for the nice compliment. I really appreciate it. I do talk a lot about my kids. It's just part of who I am, you know? So, absolutely. I'm so excited for her. I read, Lori, that the more kids are involved in school, the better they do in school. The more, the better grades they get, the more they stay in school, the better grades they get, the more likely they go on to continue their education. So it just takes one thing that they're really into. It could be chess club, it could be cheerleading, or in this case, it could be band. And so it's not cheap. Let me tell you this. This item, this is not me begging for money, by the way. This is just my shock at learning that this is how much this costs. You see this stick? It's called a mace. Right here. The silver thing she's holding. Each drum major has to have their own. That mace and its bag and the ceremonial purple and white cords you see tied around it cost me a grand total of $414. No, I'm not kidding. Hundreds more dollars were spent on camp learning how to twirl said mace. This is not cheap, but I really think that when you look at school and you look at kids' involvement in something like this and how it keeps them engaged, how it keeps them interested in school, they have to keep their grades up or they can't be the drum major. They can't be on the football team. They can't be, participating in whatever. So I think it's money well spent because the more she's into it, the better she's going to do in school. That's what it's about. All right, enough about me and my expenditures on weird stuff. Whoever thought I would spend $400 on a mace? Hey, you never know what the next thing is going to be that you have to buy. I'm telling you. All right, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to take you to the islands. I hope you had a good time. I know it doesn't translate well if you're listening only to audio via podcast, because that's kind of really picture intensive, but I enjoyed that. Okay, I think we do have time. Do we have a little bit of time? Because so far the show has only been going on for 45 minutes, even though it's almost 2:05, because Mark went a little long today. But I found this video, and it's an interactive video of a surfer. What they wanted to do was take people, probably like you and me, that are never going to go out on the ocean and catch a barrel. They wanted to share this interactive experience of what it's like to surf in French Polynesia, or really anywhere. And I'm pretty fascinated by it. The video is only 3 minutes long, less than that really, and I may fast forward a little bit through a little bit of it. But it's pretty incredible, and I think really relaxing as well. So if you like surf videos, this one is meant to be viewed through a Samsung VR headset, but I don't have one of those, and I just watched it on my computer, and I thought, this is pretty good. I'll take it. So here's this video. Let's play it. It's called The Anatomy of Surf.
Nothing really compares to the amount of just pure joy that I get from riding a wave. Emotionally, I feel excitement, I feel nervous, I feel fear. All of that stuff kind of drifts away when I hit the water. Time completely stops when you get in the barrel. And your feet dig into the wax and your toes start to grip into the board. You're seeing the lips slowly cascading over. The feeling of that just leaves a mark with you and literally never gets old. And every single surfer spends his entire life searching for that feeling and that exact moment in time. It's a rad experience for me to be able to share this with people that might never get a chance to surf, and even if they have surfed, give them a glimpse into what a really, really good day looks like.
Yeah. I think it's worth getting demonetized, because that music will probably get me demonetized. But you know what? That was relaxing. Did you guys not feel a little relaxed after that? I totally did. I saw it yesterday and I thought I got to share this with you. So that was a ride through the barrel of a Tahitian wave with professional surfer Ian Walsh, called The Anatomy of Surf, in the waters off the shore of Teahupo'o, which is this small little village right off the southeast coast of Tahiti. This area is known for having glassy waves, and you saw in the background forested hills, steep, abrupt reefs. The waves regularly reach 6 to 10 feet, There have been reports of 20 to 30-foot waves in this area, or crests at least. The swell is quick and the break is in the shallow. So the surf, they say, is among the most dangerous and challenging on Earth. Long considered to be too steep to be surfable, the Teahupo'o waves were finally beaten by big wave legend Laird Hamilton in 2000. And that, they said, is what really set the standard for professional surfers around the world. And since then, this spot has become home to the Billabong Pro Tahiti competition, and that's where American surfer Ian Walsh towed the biggest wave of the season. So it was shot on a helmet camera, so he had a camera on his helmet while he was surfing and taking us through that barrel. And I would imagine that it's really cool when you're watching it on your VR headset, but I think it was pretty cool without that as well. One of the things that you can do with that video is stop it and then drag it around for a 360-degree view. So you can really, they say, kind of experience what it feels like to surf one of those big waves in Tahiti. So I thought that was cool. But then I'm kind of a beach girl, so I don't know. All right. Well, I have a new person. I'm a careless child lady. Yes, I am a careless child lady. So set me in the same area as the childless cat ladies. We're all friends together. Harry throwing in $5. Great show and I'll be a fundy. You are a fundy, Harry. You're a fun guy. Thank you so much. And I don't mean a mushroom. Thank you for that. I appreciate your contribution to the show. So appreciate it. And I know Wes would too, except he's having some issues. I guess he has to get all new financial cards and everything. So yikes. I hope you didn't get scammed too badly or that people didn't steal from you, Wes. But I hear I feel for you. I'm sorry you have to go through that. And thank you, Harry, so much for the $5 contribution to the After Party Live today. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you tomorrow for Trivia Thursday. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, we've got David Katz coming through. So it's going to be a really good show. Then Trivia Thursday here on the After Party Live, and then 5 p.m., it's our weekly cocktail, have a sit-down discussion, and a really good time on the Nikki Maduro Show. That's Thursday evenings at 5 p.m., and I really hope you can join us because we love to spend time with you. Mars coming through with $5. Yay, Mars! Thank you for the $5. Really appreciate it. Mars and Harry both, thank you for the contributions today. All right, everybody, go out there on your Wednesday, make it a really good day, and I will see you back here on the old YouTube.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
I'm so happy to hear that, Walter. Yay. Yeah, I think in Hawaii is the birthplace of surfing, right? It was tea. Set a reminder, 5 p.m. tomorrow.